So it's time for our tarot pull. And as we get ready to pull these cards, you have a full PDF that will walk you through this if you'd like to do it later on your own. But I am going to pull it, especially for those who don't have cards. Having your deck, taking care of your deck, so important. But before we begin, it's important, even more than your deck or your cards or any of that, to tune in and ask the right questions. So I'm going to ask you to sit up tall and close your eyes. And I'm going to read an invocation to you. The moon turns the soil of our souls. Under her dark gaze, I prune what chokes. I harvest what nourishes, and I tend to the wild roots of becoming. Witchcraft begins in the weeds, in the slow, sacred labor of care, in devotion to what no one else sees growing yet. Let us begin. Open up your eyes and how to begin your spread. First, try not to burn yourself or the house down. Take 3 grounding breaths. Breathe in. Again. One more. Place your hand over your heart. Close your eyes. Whisper or think. I release what no longer roots me. I harvest the wisdom I have earned. I tend to what is quietly becoming. Then open up your eyes and just shuffle your cards a few times. I like to cut my deck a couple of times. Shuffle it a couple of times. And when you're ready, you're going to lay your cards out in a soft arc or a line from left to right. First, what needs pruning? I pulled the Hierophant. We'll talk about that in a moment. What is ripe for harvest? Wheel of Fortune. And finally, what wants tending? Justice. Okay. So let's look at what these cards mean and also like how our questions like inform what comes out. So the cards never lie. The first card is what needs pruning. You can ask yourself questions like what feels tangled or draining, what belief or project or pattern needs releasing, how would it feel in my body to put it down. This card, the first card, shows what's no longer serving you. It's a habit, a role, a pattern, a belief. Like pulling weeds, it's not about shame. It's about making space. So the Hierophant is very often tradition. Here you see him, he's meditating. It can be a tradition, a belief system, structure, knowledge, wisdom, a teacher. Asking yourself, is there a structure or a way of doing things that it's time for you to let go of? You can write a short goodbye for this, a spell of release, or simply say, I no longer need this to define me. I no longer need to do things the way that I thought they were supposed to be done. I no longer need this person's guidance. I no longer need this person's approval. Ooh. The second card is what is ripe for the harvest. And we pulled Wheel of Fortune, which is a card of karma and destiny. And I mean, this is a big card. And so if we think about what is ripe for harvest, what internal growth deserves recognition, what wisdom am I carrying from this season, what am I ready to claim with pride? This card reveals something that's ready to be gathered, acknowledged, or celebrated. And even if it's small, you name it. Now, Wheel of Fortune is not small. Virgo sees magic and refinement. You might find something small that's really turning into be something really, really big. So if I'm ready to harvest destiny and karma, what's possible? That's kind of amazing, right? Write it down, bless it, like speak it into existence. And then finally, the third card is what needs tending, what wants tending. What dream or ritual am I neglecting? What part of me wants to be seen or slowly built up? What could grow with more attention? This card whispers towards the next cycle. And I find this really interesting. Justice, balance, equality. I feel like where we're living right now in the world, this is asking to be tended to. We're not seeing it. Social justice is a freaking mess right now. I feel like I pulled these cards not just for me, and I feel like I pulled these cards for the collective. The cards never lie. Justice wants tending right now. Balance, equality. When we read these like a cycle, the first card tells us to make space, to let go, to return something to the soil, to return structure, knowledge, wisdom, tradition, the way we've done things all along. The second card is what's ripe for the harvest. It's gathering, receiving, honoring what we've grown, and being ready for what's coming. And the third is devoting ourselves. What needs tending? Justice. So sit up tall and close your eyes. And if you've got your own cards to look up the meanings of, maybe you pause and do that. But we'll seal our spread by reading aloud. I clear with care. I let go of what doesn't serve me. I gather with gratitude. I harvest and embrace what's coming. And I grow with grace, seeking justice, balance, equality. Breathe and notice what's shifted. Notice anything that's showing up for you. Close your eyes. Let the soil stay soft. Let your no be sacred and your yes be a spell. Let the tiny tendrils of becoming rise, unseen but unstoppable. You've pulled the weeds. You've gathered what's ripe. You've chosen what's worthy of your care. Now go become the moonlight gardener of your own life. Tend your magic, protect your peace, and trust what's growing. Blessed be. Bonus, if you want to come back at the new moon and look at the spread again and see where things are, you could ask yourself what started to bloom, what started to fade, what started to root more deeply. All right, witches. Next, we'll do a little bundle tending.